Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Out of Bounds podcast. I am your host, John, with my brother, Matt. We are going to be talking about all things football, mostly NFL, maybe talking about the USFL when it comes around to that. However, today we are talking about our Philadelphia Eagles. And right now, the biggest problem, a lot of Philadelphia fans are going to hate me on this, but the biggest problem we have right now is at quarterback. If we had a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, we would have gone past the Bucks. I know a lot of people are saying Tom Brady and the Bucks offense just completely destroyed our defense. While that is somewhat true, we did have a few stops on defense. All you really need is to have a few stops on defense if your offense just keeps scoring every single drive. However, Jalen Hurts, I don't think they had any scoring drives up until the late third quarter or fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken. So right now we're going to be going over the quarterback situation. Matt, you are Howie Roseman. All right?
Yep.
You have just been given control of all general manager, player personnel privileges of the Philadelphia Eagles, all right? What are you doing at quarterback this off season? And here is what you have to keep in mind. Aaron Rodgers, he's going like, yeah, nah, I ain't going to the Eagles. Maybe the Broncos, but most likely I'm going to stay with the Packers. And Russell Wilson, he will require at least three first round picks and a player like Darius Slay or Fletcher Cox or some starter. So, what are you doing at the quarterback position? The floor is
I do
yours.
that trade. No. I do two first round picks this year, a first round pick next year, and Fletcher Cox for
You would do
Russell
that to
Wilson.
get Russell Wilson?
Easily.
Hmm, really?
Yeah, Fletcher Cox is a cap hit, and he's not producing. He's kind of a waste of money.
Okay, let's
And
say they wanted Darius Slay, someone who has been really great for us this past season. He was Pro Football Focus rated him the second best corner this season. Like what Colin Cohort said, three or four first round picks and Darius Slay. Are you doing that trade?
yeah, I think so because, yeah, Darius Slay's great, but if Jalen Hurts at quarterback, we're not going to win within 2 years of his prime years. So we need Russell Wilson now. To because a lot
Interesting.
of these other guys don't have much years on the defense.
Is Russell Wilson your first pick since Aaron's off the table? Like, of all the quarterbacks that are projected to be traded or moved around, you would go with Russell Wilson over like Kirk Cousins, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jameis Winston, or anyone like that?
I mean, well, if these Jameis Winston rumors are really true that he's moving,
He's a free
then I would
agent.
like to take a look at Jameis Winston because he's a cheaper option at quarterback,
Nah,
and I think he could still produce well.
that. Wait, so you're telling me you would take Jameis Winston over Russell Wilson?
Value wise, yes.
What do you mean value wise? You think he's a better thrower of the football? Like what?
Yeah, like long distantly, yeah, but I mean,
What? Are you serious?
yes. I mean, we'd only probably give up like a player and like a second day pick. Or we could give like Jalen Hurts on a second
No,
day
you're
pick
not
for
giving
Jameis
up
Winston.
anything because he's a free agent this offseason.
Is he?
Yeah.
Even easier. We get him. We sign him. We don't have to give up any of the first round picks. We can use it on the defense, maybe a wide receiver, and bam, Super Bowl.
So you're going to use all those three picks to build around Jameis Winston.
Yes, and the defense.
Nah. You see, I would choose Jalen Hurts over Jameis Winston. However, in the terms of the Russell Wilson trade, I don't know if three first round picks and Darius Slay is good enough for me with Russell Wilson. Like, Darius Slay, I want him on the Eagles this next season. Imagine what he was so great this past season for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he was definitely he was easily a top 10 cornerback this past season. I only wish we had like another good cornerback to complement him, and then our defense would have been amazing. Like, we needed some linebackers, obviously, and some more defensive tackles or on the edge pressure would be nice, but I think the defense was serviceable. They definitely were very weak in a lot of games, mostly against really great teams, but that's besides the point. Talking about the quarterback situation, I don't know if I would do the trade for Russell Wilson. Aaron would be my first choice. I would give hell like 4 or 5 first round picks in order to get Aaron Rodgers because he's like the best thrower of the football in my time. But nah, I don't know if I would give that much for Russell Wilson. I could justify it if the Eagles did it. I wouldn't be too mad, but I'd rather get a much cheaper option. Like, for example, Jimmy Garoppolo, he may only require a second or maybe even a third round pick. I would love to see Jimmy Garoppolo be on the Eagles. I would take him over Jalen Hurts in a heartbeat, bruh. The thing is with Jimmy Garoppolo, though, there are some plays I saw this past season of when he threw the football where I would be like, oh, Jimmy, 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 Jimmy. You know? Like,
During the
mostly
Dallas game,
the
he
Dallas
could have won
game?
that game many times if he just made those throws.
I mean, they did win the game eventually, but it shouldn't have been that close. I wasn't really pointing at the Dallas game. It's morely against the Rams game in the NFC Conference Championship, where there were just some throws that I was like, "Come on, Jimmy." Although I have that much more when I'm watching Jalen Hurts. Like, it seems almost every single drive with Jalen Hurts, I'm like, Jalen, what are you doing? I am just frustrated watching Jalen Hurts play most of the time. Unless he's playing against terrible teams this past season, like Denver, Atlanta, it's just like, okay, that's a quarterback that I'm willing to ride with as a franchise quarterback. But then we see the games against the Bucks and other teams, even the teams that aren't good, like the Giants, it where he threw 3 interceptions. That game shouldn't have been close. We should have easily won that. And the fact that he didn't throw to a wide open Devontae Smith on the ending drive to win the game and instead chooses to throw to Rager, who just dropped a pass the play before, is incredible. Like, my biggest problem with Jalen Hurts is he cannot read the field at all. There were multiple times Dan Orlovsky pointed out that Jalen Hurts had Keyes Watkins in the playoff game against the Bucks, but he did not throw to Keyes because for some reason he didn't read it there. So Jimmy Garoppolo would be an option, but here's Eagles fans all over are gonna hate me. But listen, Eagles fans, I am an Eagles fan. I am a die-hard Eagles fan. I bleed green. I watch every single game religiously, ride and die with the Philadelphia Eagles. And even Matt is gonna want to slap me for saying this.
I might just.
But what about... Now hear me out. We look... Howie Roseman looks like the ultimate gangster and gets Carson Wentz from the Indianapolis Colts for a conditional second, third round pick. If the rumors are true and the Colts are moving
No,
off
no, no,
him,
no, no, no. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop you there. Like I've listened way too long at this point. I would rather have Jordan Howard at our quarterback, Greg Ward, than Carson Wentz back there.
what?
It's not. He's not coming back. I don't want him to come back. I loved
He's
him when he was here, but no, 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 no.
You would
Just
want someone who's never played at quarterback in the NFL to be your quarterback over Carson Wentz?
if I'm giving up a second or maybe a first, then yes.
No. I'm saying a conditional second, third round pick. Like,
Which
with us, they gave us a conditional first. Maybe it was second. If he played the snaps, it was a first. Like, if he plays the snaps, it's a second. If he doesn't, it's a third round pick.
no, no. I'd rather Jalen Hurts at this point. No.
Bruh, nah. Carson Wentz wasn't even bad last season. All you Colts fans are driving me crazy. You're like, oh, if we had a better quarterback, we would have beat the Jags. Your defense is the ones that gave up that game. Yeah, Carson Wentz threw an interception in the game, but it wasn't really his fault exactly. And there are anomaly games like the Bills versus the Jags. The Jags won that game. It's unexplained. Sometimes other teams win NFL games and it's just unexplainable. Like, you can't choose a specific person of who to blame. Most of the time, there is someone specific who you can point at to blame for certain games. A lot of the times, in my eyes, it was Jalen Hurts this season with the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, there were some games too in which it was the defense's fault, but most of the time it was Jalen Hurts. Also, Carson Wentz, he threw 27 touchdowns to only 7 interceptions. Like, the guy didn't have a bad season statistically. He was pretty decent most of the games. I don't know why everyone's bashing him. But if Carson Wentz is on the move, which I don't think he will, I truly and firmly believe that Carson Wentz will be the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts in the 2022 NFL season.
Yeah,
I
they'd be stupid to move on this quick.
Yeah, they would be stupid. Like, to give Jalen Hurts a year, like, we just gave Jalen Hurts a year, and we're probably going to give him another one if what Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni's true. Then, also, another one we can point to is Deshaun Watson, who could possibly be coming to Philly. However, I do not want Deshaun Watson in Philly at all. What is your thought
Is
on
this as a person or a player?
the whole thing? Like, Deshaun Watson comes to Philly. How would you feel about that?
I'd be ecstatic. I'd be so happy.
I
We're going to the
can't.
playoffs. I'd buy a Super Bowl hat for the Eagles that year. It's happening.
Nah. Because here's the thing. Not only is it going to be very expensive to get Deshaun Watson, it'd probably be the same as maybe Russell Wilson because, I don't know, people are going to value him as Russell Wilson, which he was a good player when he played, but the problem is not only will he be expensive, but the person he is, I just cannot, I do not want that player on the Philadelphia Eagles. And people will point to how we had Michael Vick and was like, did you have a problem with Michael Vick? No, because the thing is, Michael Vick didn't assault woman, alright? Like, that is much deeper than. I'm not even going to get into the whole Michael Vick situation, alright?
It's just yeah.
Majority of America has forgiven Michael Vick at this point. I don't think there's a person.
It doesn't matter. It's just like let's just get back to the truth. Jameis Winston should be
No,
the
Jameis
quarterback.
Winston should not be the quarterback of the
Let me
Philadelphia
tell you a
Eagles.
statistic:
Alright.
14-3 touchdowns to interceptions. 14 touchdowns to 3 interceptions.
He's coming
Two
off an injury.
interceptions were in one game against the Carolina Panthers when they were surprisingly good for 3 weeks.
It was more than 3 weeks because they didn't even play them in the first 3 weeks.
They played them week 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the bad week. But
I
like
thought that like everyone wasn't like looking at the Carolina Panthers because they didn't really face any real competition. Because I know that they faced the Texans in week 3. I think they faced it was the Jets week 1 because of the whole Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold going to the against the Jets again. Um, and then so week 2 was the Saints, but everyone was down on the Panthers. I believed them. I thought the Panthers were going to do well, and they were pretty good up until where CMC went out. Because let's be honest, CMC runs that team.
Yeah, I think at the same exact time, he might have to go.
CMC,
After, yeah,
it's a shame. It's a big shame what happened to him. Such a
yeah,
great player.
yeah. A lot of running backs. These like once they get one, sorry, the trend they keep getting injured. Like Saquon
Saquon,
Barkley,
prime
such
example.
high potential.
Yeah, it's so sad looking at Saquon and CMC. Like they just keep getting injured now. I would love for either one of them to come to Philly. However, I'm a big Miles Sanders fan. I think he's a great running back if we continue to feed it to him because he can have those breakout runs. Man, he's a good quarter. He's a I still said quarterback running back. Well, we need to go back on the quarterback situation. I do not want Jameis Winston here because whenever I look at Jameis Winston, I saw the guy that would lead the league in interceptions each year and would have like
And
30
touchdown.
TDs and 30 interceptions. Like if your TD and interception ratio are 1-for-1, I cannot have you as the quarterback of my team. I'm sorry, but interceptions are a big deal because that is the
That wasn't a
deciding
problem this
factor.
year. He was
It
on a
wasn't a
good pace.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He got injured less than midway through the season. So it's like I can't he's coming off an injury. So that right there is an issue. We don't know how he's going to recover. We haven't seen him go through an injury in the NFL. At least I can't remember a time in which he got an injured and had to come back from that. There's been other players like uh Aaron Rodgers we know can come back from an injury. And we just saw Joe Burrow can come back from an injury. Great. So my top picks for the Eagles quarterback situation, Jimmy Garoppolo is my number 1 pick. I know Carson Wentz isn't on the move, so I'm not even gonna count him. I know Eagles fans are screaming at me right now. Russell Wilson, I would love. I really don't want to give Darius Slay. If they could get a reasonable price for Russell Wilson, then I'd be okay with it. But I honestly, the first round picks, I'd be okay with them giving up those first round picks. Like 3, maybe 4. I think that's good. And if we gave up Fletcher Cox, okay. Fletcher Cox is a legend, though. He'll always be a legend in Philly. But, alright. So, top 3 picks for me. Number 1, yeah, fine. I'll go with the Russell Wilson trade. I would love to see Russell in Philly. My number 1 is Russell Wilson. Number 2, Jimmy G. Number 3, hmm. I'm going to go
Don't you
Sam
dare say
Darnold.
Carson Wentz.
I'm gonna say Sam. I would like to see what Sam would be like with a good O line, good run game, some good receivers out there. He just he does have an injury problem, which when healthy, but
Excuse me. Are we talking about Sam Darnold?
yes, we are. He's also apparently on the move.
What,
There's
do
also
you watch football? Do you watch football?
shut up. You know I'm great at predicting outcomes of NFL games, and I'm good at planning a team. All right.
Oh yeah, you're real mad and experienced there. The Eagles should hire you right now.
I think the Eagles could do very well under my system as a GM or a coach, honestly. The only problem I'd be is with a coach. I feel like I would not get the respect of the players. I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's Jason Kelsey. Oh my god, it's Jason Kelsey. I'd just
Yeah,
be fangirling
you'd
over
be
them
like
all.
looking up to them.
Yeah, I would also be looking up at all of them.
You'd be like, oh.
No, actually, I'd be looking down at Boston Scott.
Like as a no, like I mean, like as a person, you just be like, oh my god, oh god,
Yeah,
it's
I would be
him.
walking past every single one of these NFL players, being like, "Oh my God, it's him!"
You're gonna be like, photo, photo, photo.
No, no. Eagles hire me. I'd make a great GM or coach. Either one. You know what? Make me the coach, but give me GM control. I'll be like a good, uh, what's that guy from who was for the Texans that was on the Penn State?
Bill
Brian,
O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien. Yeah, that's the guy. I don't think he will ever come back to the NFL. All right. So, those are my top 3. I would honestly even choose uh Minshew over Hurts. With Minshew, I've seen him in Jacksonville. I've seen that he's been able to win games even against some uh not some great odds. We saw what he's like with the Eagles. He didn't throw a single interception in the Jets game. Then again, it is against the
Okay,
Jets and he looked good, but we have to keep in mind it was the Jets. I would have liked to have seen him play some more games. I'm not counting that Dallas game. He was up against starters when he
I
had
think that just
third
helps him.
string.
Honestly, he was playing with all backups, random offensive linemen.
Hmm.
They threw together against the starters for the Cowboys.
Yeah, and a big thing, he is extremely passionate. That I love that. He was going crazy when he was on the field for the Jets game. Oh my gosh, that's a guy who I could ride with as my franchise quarterback. I don't know if I would jump right to franchise. Give me a season with him, and then I can make a final decision on whether I'd like to see him or not. But I would at least like to have seen him play a few more games. But Jalen Hurts, I
He's got to go.
he really does. He's not a franchise quarterback. I'm sorry, my fellow Eagles fans, but we need to move off Jalen Hurts if we want to advance through the playoffs. Look back at his college resume. He could not. They benched him in the playoffs. They had Tua. The guys on the Dolphins right now can't. Had Brian Flores.
You're making like
You're cutting out
he did
there.
go and win the championship that year.
Who? Well, the thing is though, college is extremely different at NFL. It's kind of rare when you get a quarterback that can exceed in both, like Joe Burrow. Like, it's honest. Like, those types of players are incredible. I think they're once in a generation. Joe Burrow, he's he's a game changer. All right. So I told you my top 3. Who are you going with your top 3?
Okay, number 1, Jameis Winston, of course.
I would honestly prefer Jalen Hurts over Winston.
Just like the value, like we would have to give up so much for Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers if well he's not coming here, but still.
I would love if Aaron came here, bruh. Immediately once that jersey goes on sale. Yes. Come on, bring Devontae Smith. Do a little whispering, being like, "Come on, let's go win a championship." Devonta Smith, you, Dallas Goddard, ho ho ho. The targets oh plenty. All right,
You want to
continue.
know?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you really should be. Anyway, you want to know a statistic for James Winston? I'm really high on him, but like you just
Why do you
threw a
have to
random
keep
name like
bringing up
Sam
these
Darnold
statistics?
because they're necessary.
All right, continue.
69.8% completion percentage. He had an 1 yard per attempt or per attempt or completion. He had 7 touchdowns against 0 interceptions.
You're cutting out.
He had 0 sacks. This is including Packers, by the way. He had a pass rating
I'm gonna stop you right there.
133.6.
That Packers game, when we're talking about anomaly games from earlier, like talked about the Bills and Jags, that is another anomaly game. Like, we look at the Packers, Aaron Rodgers had almost all of his interceptions in that game alone. That's an anomaly game.
So what, are you going to hold that against Jameis Winston?
I
Oh, the other
mean,
team played bad. Like,
it does kind of factor when your defense is giving you great field position.
anyway, number 2, Russell Wilson for the quarterbacks, obviously. Number 3, Jalen Hurts.
Really? You were just saying
Yeah,
how we need a new quarterback, and you're saying Jalen Hurts is your third option?
yeah.
How?
I'm just, I'm just looking at it, and I mean, if he can improve at all about like reading a defense, he could be a really good quarterback.
The problem is I
Like,
don't see the arm power with Jalen. I also, if he was able to start reading defenses and the field correctly, he needs a better arm. Like, he has made some good deep throws, like the one with Kiez Watkins against the 49ers, Deshaun
didn't
Jackson in
matter.
that Cowboys game in his first year. But let's not kid ourselves. He lost us the game against the Cowboys in his first year. We were up against Andy Dalton, and we lost. That's kind of sad. And this was with playoff hopes on the line. Jalen Hurts was not good. Although he was a rookie that year. I won't hold it against him. But
I mean, a lot of quarterbacks, like, he only played, what, 3 or 4 games that year? 3, actually, unless you're including Washington, where he played, like, a quarter, not even
a half.
a half. Nah, it wasn't. A lot of quarterbacks make a jump. They're, like, second full year. Like, Carson Wentz did well his second year. Josh Allen had a huge jump.
Mhm.
And, just, like, I don't know, if he can get a
Joe
jump like
Burrow.
that, he could lead this team.
Yeah, but if you're looking like when I look at Jalen Hurts on the field, I'm like, there's no way this man can beat quarterbacks like Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford, um, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Like, quarterbacks like them, I can't see him beating it. If we had Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, it's like, yes, I've seen Russell and Aaron be that quarterback in the league where it's like defenses are afraid to go up against him because they don't, because he can do anything. Like, Aaron, he can throw a deep ball with the flick of the wrist. It's honestly incredible. And Russell, like, he can scramble well, throw deep well. He's got precision, but yeah, I don't see that from Hurts at all. All
Yeah,
right,
he's got to make a jump.
now on to the second and final segment. How is the NFC East going to look like in this upcoming season? Who will be? This is our very, very early predictions. We'll have predictions on who wins every single division before the season starts, like maybe a week or two before the season starts. But who, right now, before the free agency and trading begins, Matt, who is going to win the NFC East?
Cowboys.
Just like that,
They
the
have a better
Cowboys.
team right now than any other team in the NFC East. Of course, one injury to like Dak Prescott, or like that's a big injury, but like a few injuries on like the receivers or the offensive line, and they're done. If they like, they could struggle, and once they start struggling, they're done. They got a favorable schedule when they have to face the Giants and the Commanders two times or 4 times a year, and face us and face the Eagles, which they could probably still win at this point before we make any changes.
I agree with that. I agree with pretty much everything you just said. I think the Cowboys, if it were to happen right now, the Cowboys would win the East. Again, they got 4 easy wins against the Commanders and the Giants. And then even us, we're not fully on the right path. We are a playoff team. Let's, that's just something to be very proud of. Nick Sirianni,
No,
he's
no,
now
it's
in
not.
his huh?
It's not really.
That we went to the playoffs?
Yeah, we got absolutely destroyed in it. What's called when we got there, we actually got destroyed. A lot of our win, we had one win against a winning team, and it was the Saints because they won their final week.
Yeah.
It just
Well, yeah, we really didn't face any real competition, and when we did it, we pretty much lost. But a lot of those teams that had a winning percentage or winning record, we faced them earlier in the year, and we became pretty good afterwards. Like we faced the Bucks, the 49ers early in the year. We did face the Chargers during the mid-season, which I thought that was a very winnable game. We lost it by a field goal. But yeah, so like Matt just said, Cowboys are gonna win unless there's a significant injury, maybe to Dak or even Amari, or I could see the Cowboys defense really slipping up if Micah gets injured. If Micah's not on the field, because that man can cause chaos for opposing offenses. Micah Parsons is not to be trifled with. Cowboys, your best player on defense is Micah. It isn't Trevon Diggs. I'm sorry, but you guys have to stop comparing this guy to
anyone. Just
yeah, pretty much. You can't compare him to anyone. He is a good corner for you guys, but stop with comparing him to Darrell Revis because he's not him. Look at the yards that Trayvon has given up, bruh. All right, stop. It's just, yeah, he had a lot of interceptions. Who are the people you faced? You face a terrible division, and you had an easy schedule this year. So just stop it. All right. Anything you would like to add to that?
of course, fly Eagles fly.
Yep, flags fly. Hopefully, in this free agency, we get some wide receivers. Uh,
Get rid of Rieger.
get rid of Rieger. Yes. We need wide receivers. We need linebackers. A good corner like Xavier Howard, or you know who's a cornerback that's in free agency apparently, unless the Patriots don't do something.
Ooh,
J.C.
J.C. Jackson.
Jackson. I would love to see J.C. Jackson on Slay covering the field. Ooh, oh, that would be good
A lockdown defense.
lockdown defense. Well, you have to up upgrade at linebacker and D line. Ever since Graham went down with an injury, I really hope he can bounce back from this injury. It was a significant injury. But
Yeah, just getting old
fly
up
Eagles
there.
fly. And that concludes the first episode of the Out of Bounds podcast. Make sure to share this with all of your friends if you are an Eagles fan. Comment below or send us an email. Hate us, love us. Yep, you can find our email and Twitter and Instagram in our about on our YouTube channel if you're watching this on YouTube. Uh, yeah, if not, go find us on YouTube and subscribe, as well as whatever platform you're watching us or listening to us on. Yeah, but that's it. Goodbye.